The Bitcoin spot ETF is authorized. Bitcoin has not yet reached $100,000, but the connections between Wall Street and the cryptocurrency industry are now ultimately established. How we currently perceive the price trend for Bitcoin for this year, and whether we may still witness the $100,000 mark by the halving event in April, you will discover in today's video. My name is Benjamin.
My name is Hannes Hoertnagl, and today we have something special. And for all those who could not be physically present at our live event, we have recorded all modules, all courses, all content, and of course also the iceboarding on video. We will edit it together, and then you can of course look at all the content accordingly. Below we have linked special promotion currently only for a few days, only for 4 days, the promotion online, and there you can watch all the content from the live event like being there live. In that sense, don't miss the chance, utilize it now. Benjamin, you said bridges will be built between Wall Street and Bitcoin. Currently happening worldwide, bridges being torn down, a completely new phenomenon. Why didn't this impact Bitcoin price now?
Yes, Hannes, that is usually always the case, that a so-called rare news event has occurred. That means it was already priced in a lot before the ETF comes. Then he came and it went down first, but in the long term, it looks very, very good for Bitcoin. Let's talk about it later. But why has this spot Bitcoin ETF been approved now? Are speculations already continuing in the market that soon an Ether ETF, i.e. for Ethereum, the second largest cryptocurrency, will also be launched on the market? To do this, we view the video clip.
In a blog post, you say that a spot Ether ETF could quickly follow. How rapidly do you anticipate it will occur? And is it Solana? Is it your cryptocurrency? How do you think it will develop?
I believe that by now it should be clear to each of you that cryptocurrencies are not just assets for cyberbanks or internet nerds, but now it is also becoming really interesting for the big players on Wall Street. Bitcoin has without a doubt become a full-fledged business. And Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, even goes so far as to say that all assets should be tokenized at some point in the next few years. Let's take a look at what he has to say about it.
Let me be clear. ETFs are the first step in the technological revolution in the financial markets. The second step is the tokenization of financial assets, which is the point where we believe it is heading.
Tokenization in finance and in value competition refers to the process of digitizing financial products as crypto assets and mapping them as decentralized stored assets on a blockchain network. Yes, this trend is real, and many who couldn't invest in assets like large properties in New York, where you have to put down millions, can now simply buy a small part of this property without an agent, without a lawyer, and without a notary. No need for a real estate agent, lawyer, or notary anymore. This opens up investment opportunities for more individuals. This is brilliant, and we hear many criticisms about Bitcoin, about cryptocurrencies in general. But one should simply give every technology a chance, and cryptocurrencies and blockchains simply create a better world. Exactly what we always promote in our videos. Hannes, it's always been like this. Until now, the financial market and many SSE classes were only accessible for a small elite, how should I say, to invest. But exactly this central concentration of power is now dissolving. We are essentially moving into a decentralized world where massive changes in the financial system occur every 80 years and everyone can benefit from them together. Hannes and I also wrote a book called Generation in Crash. Now you can download our book for free below, and it's very important to mention the Friends Congress, where Hannes and I discussed these topics exactly under this video. Let's now look ahead to the year 2024. This is something that most likely captures the interest of everyone. Yes, you all already know about 2024 and 2025. Cryptocurrencies will be back in high demand. That means most of them will miss this rally because they assume that deflation is coming, and some big players or some big analysts in Germany believe that a total collapse is coming and that one should actually invest in cash or have cash now. We have a different perspective, but we're willing to create a video on it. Our members are informed and have greatly profited from the cryptocurrency bull market, specifically the Bitcoin breakout in Q4 2023. We gave a live update and encourage you to comment on our crypto forecasts since 2020. Hannes, now let's take a look at a very exciting topic, namely gold. Now let's take a look at the price of gold and why gold. because even gold was briefly closed with Wall Street at that time, and it was in the year 2004, and then this well-known gold ETF came on the market, and now we are looking at a chart where you can see that the gold ETF came in November 2004, and only after that gold really had its strong bull run. So it's not necessarily negative that Wall Street is reconnecting with an asset like gold or Bitcoin here, because at the end of the day, Wall Street wants to make money with it. Yes, the capital raised through the large ETFs is now finally hitting the spot market, which means that the Bitcoins that are on the exchange must now be bought and then simply stored by Coinbase or Fidelity or other large providers. This not only has downsides, it may even be a positive for some. Hannes, the Bitcoin price development may be one of the most exciting topics in 2024. Everyone wants to know, does your cap fly at $100,000, yes or no? And now let's take a look at a brief video by Cathie Woods from ARK Invest discussing the current Bitcoin price development.
Our base case is $600,000. We believe that the probability of a bull market has increased with this SEC approval. This is a green light.
Cathie Woods, a well-known fund manager from the USA, speaks of a $600,000 base scenario for Bitcoin, and in the best-case scenario, she even expects us to see over $1 million per Bitcoin. Is that realistic, yes or no? If we really see Bitcoin at $600,000, then that means nothing else. As we have often said, that Bitcoin reaches the market capitalization of gold, and thus is actually only equated with gold in terms of market capitalization. And Larry Fink, also BlackRock CEO, and as already mentioned, who has spoken about tokenization, sees Bitcoin as digital gold as the world's largest asset manager. The amount of $600,000 is also not unrealistic according to our analysis, at least within the time frame of this decade. But now let's take a look at the scenarios for Bitcoin this year. We have currently presented two scenarios that we want to share with you today. Will Bitcoin reach $100,000 this year? Yes or no? We definitely believe that we will crack the $100,000, yes. But there are various ways to reach there. The first, let's insert it here, would be that we encounter another correction towards $34,000. Just now after this spot Bitcoin ETF approval. That means sometime in the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, it should actually go quickly, and then from there, new all-time highs into the halving, into the summer. In the year 2024, we'll see, and then probably also until December, the amount of $100,000. We don't know for sure whether the $100,000 will be reached in 2024 or 2025, but we assume that Bitcoin will definitely be in the six-figure range by the end of 2025, and within this short time frame, it is already a very, very good scenario. If we maybe look at the second scenario, we see a more bullish scenario here. That means that we are now directly surpassing the $50,000 mark again and actually taking out all-time highs right away, even before the halving, as we have discussed before in the videos, before April 2024. And that, of course, means that the risk of Bitcoin, which many also see falling below $30,000 again, corrects by almost another 50%. Extremely limited, and we actually can't handle it right now, especially not with how current the market situation is for Bitcoin. We have the halving ahead. We have a value again in the USA, which means money is being printed, flowing into the markets. We have a Federal Reserve lowering interest rates, and at the same time, we have digital central bank currencies likely launching with the crisis. So the prospects are incredibly fantastic and could actually not be any better, at least for the upcoming 12-24 months.
Ladies and gents, this is a crucial point. I think it's uninteresting whether we see a Bitcoin ETF or not. There is little interest in the global economy whether we have a Bitcoin half a year or not, but what is of interest are the international upheavals, the banking crisis, what we see coming towards us in April 2024, and the upheavals in the world that will then drive Bitcoin prices upwards. And so one simply has to face the reality, the new reality, that Bitcoin is an asset that will not disappear anymore, that Bitcoin and the crypto world are making their way into this new world that is forming in front of us. And it is essential to remember to actively engage and be a vital part of this dynamic new world that is unfolding before us. In that sense, Benjamin, one thing is clear, I believe, if we do not see high six-figure Bitcoin prices in December 2025, then our analyses and many others have been significantly off, significantly wrong. You can't beautify that anymore. On the contrary. But so far, until today, I believe we already have a fantastic Bitcoin track record at Investinbest. Whether it's breakouts to the upside or pullbacks to the downside, we can already confidently say that we firmly believe 2024 will be the year that ultimately destroys my capital.
Hannes, exactly. Many crypto bears, they always cited falling money supply as reason for the upcoming crash. There were many big YouTubers there who also said this year, or 2023, that due to the falling money supply, the crash is now coming. Let's insert a graphic here and examine the current money supply situation, particularly in the USA. We see money supply already picking up. Also great, money supply left it far behind and picking up again, boosting stock markets, among other things, also boosting cryptocurrency, but will boost gold this year for sure. So we actually have a positive environment for Bitcoin across the board here. And the only, or how should I say, the only man who apparently still doesn't really understand Bitcoin, but unfortunately a very important man, and who can also cause some problems in the last or in the next months. This is Gary Gensler, the SEC chief. And now let's take a look at what he still has to say about Bitcoin currently.
Investors should be aware that this underlying asset is a highly speculative and volatile asset, and it is commonly used for illegal activities such as money laundering, sanctions, ransomware, and other illicit practices that pose significant risks to their investments and the integrity of the financial system.
The only truly speculative asset with which everyone definitely loses money, let us say, is the US dollar. Because if we look at the dollar over the last 20 years, then it has suffered a good 60, 70, 80% loss in purchasing power. If money is laundered with Bitcoin, the dollar, or which volume more money is laundered globally, I think it's relatively easy to determine. Of course, it will be the dollar rather than Bitcoin. But Gary Gensler, his words are definitely almost to be considered satire for us. And Hannes, one thing must also be clearly stated here. We can look forward to something in 2024. We can look forward to a very exciting year with a lot of volatility. We will certainly not be bored, but very, very important to end today's video with the following quote, namely the possibility to simply take on the other side of the Kentian MMT communist economic system and sit back and watch how the system crumbles is divine therapeutic. From Chris, Benix, and Hannes, let the games begin. Time to start competing.
Let the game start. People must decide. You have to decide who you would rather follow. A Gary Gensler, a US dollar, a central power system, or a decentralized future, a decentralized self-responsible future where perhaps Cassie Woods, Michael Salon, many other pioneers contribute their intellectual input to then build a better world to some extent. Share the video now, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and don't miss any more videos from Investinbest. Below the ball, the free link for the online congress. Be sure to be there, as well as the link to our Investinbest Insider video, the live recording of our live event. We'll see you tomorrow in a new video. Goodbye, people.